What is up, guys, and welcome to the introduction episode of The City and Her Club, where we have been hired on as the manager for Greuther Fürth in the Zweite Bundesliga, so the second division of Germany, and we're going to be taking them back to the Bundesliga and hopefully to the top of German football. As you can see, the club was founded in 1903. They were actually a pretty strong side in the early 1900s. They won 3 national titles, and in 1924 they were one of only 2 clubs to have their players selected for the German national team. So the first and only time that the German national team was made up solely of players from 2 clubs. Crazy, right? So after that, they were kind of up and down, first and second division, and then when the Bundesliga was founded, they actually didn't make the cut for the Bundesliga. They were in the second division, kind of went second division, dropped down to the third, immediately went back up to the second division. That's kind of where they've been for some time now. They've just kind of been here in the second division. They won the second division in 2011, and then in 2012 they were quickly relegated back down to the second division, so short-lived. Since then it's been up and down, so they were 3rd, then 14th, 9th, 8th, and then last year a 15th place finish. This year they're actually holding the trend because they are in 3rd place, I believe, on goal difference. So keep our fingers crossed. We may actually be able to also perform well and get them promoted. That's definitely the hope here. But we'll go back here and we'll take a look at finances, because that is going to be a big part of the series. As you can see here, it says okay finances. When we look here, our overall balance is pretty decent. Our transfer budget is nothing to write home about. And you can see the biggest part right here, that we are already over the payroll budget. That is rather unfortunate, because I was hoping to bring in a lot of players, get some stuff done. We may have to tweak the transfer budget a little bit to get some of that wiggle room, but finances is going to probably play a big part in the series. You guys won't see a lot of what I'm doing behind the scenes in order to correct that, but from time to time we may check in and just see how we're doing there. Let's talk tactics, because this year it is completely different than last year's version of the game. They have these custom presets that you can choose from: Gegenpress, tiki-taka, vertical tiki-taka, that I think are really awesome. And if you'd like to kind of go through those presets and use those presets, I think they all have their strengths. However, there were some things about each one that I didn't really care for, so I chose the Gegenpress tactic with the preset one, and then I made some changes to mine, just a little bit of tweaks here and there. The positions you actually see out here are not necessarily the positions that we're going to use as of right now. I haven't really gone into the squad to dig in deep to figure out where I want to play people yet, right? So these are the preset positions that they've put people in, but we may tweak that a little bit here and there. As you can see, we have the positive mentality, and I actually really like the positive mentality. I like that they've added this in, because last year you could choose attacking, and it's not that you didn't want to attack, but I like the fact that I have something that's a little under attack. So it's not necessarily an attacking, but it's positive. It's still something that's going to look to push forward. I like that. We will probably stay on that mentality all year. We may alter it a little bit, maybe go a little cautious at times, but to be honest, we probably will stay on positive. I have a save with Bournemouth that I did before this during the beta, and I actually found that even against the stronger side, a positive mentality did help me. Where it hurt was against sides with pacey wingers. So like when I played Man City, Sane and Sterling were able to get in behind the wingbacks with that mentality, because we were so positive when we got the ball and moving forward, them looking to overlap. So I may drop it back a little bit to cautious sometimes, depending on what the wingers look like for the opposition. You can see here in possession, we're looking to play out of the defense. I want shorter passing. The reason being is I don't know the technical level yet of the team, and I like to start with the shorter passing so that we can kind of work it amongst ourselves keep possession of the ball. And then if we have the technical players, if I see that we have the ability to go a little bit longer, route one a little bit, then maybe we may start looking to get the longer passes in behind the defense. But I think as a safe option to start off, we're going to start with the shorter passing. The tempo extremely high. We want to be high tempo, quick, back up the field because we're countering, as you'll see here in the in transition section, and we're working the ball into the box. I start with working the ball into the box, although in the Bournemouth save, I found that when you work the ball into the box and you have this selected, sometimes you get stagnant. So you get down there and they're so busy trying to work the ball into the box that people just kind of stand around and try to pass the ball amongst themselves 2 feet away in the box. So we're in the box and we're not making any movements, not making any runs. We get it there, then we pass it back out, and then we try to pass it back in and do the same thing. So we may turn that off depending on how the team plays in the friendlies. We're definitely going to see how that goes. Nothing else is checked here. We are fairly narrow, as you can see. In transition, we're counter pressing, we're countering, distributing the ball to the center backs and taking short kicks. We do want possession. We want to have that possession. So it's a lot safer here. We're going to distribute to the center backs. We're going to take the short kicks. And then when we lose the ball, we want to counter press them. We want to press up on them, and we want to counter very quickly back up the field. You can see out of possession, our line is as high as we can be. We want to press the offense. We want to get the ball back. That's going to be very important to us. The pressing intensity, though, I did drop that down to more urgent. The reason being is I found that depending on your team, if you do go all the way up here to extremely urgent, they'll get out of shape very easily, and everybody's just kind of running around creating these spaces for better teams to basically find the hole and punish you. I was punished early in the season against Man City, and after that I kind of dropped it down, and I found that it closed the space in more. Yes, we were pressing, but we just weren't pressing recklessly. I feel like when you're up here, it's reckless pressing kind of, and when we're here, it's a little more structured. That may just be me, but that's kind of where I feel. So let's take a look at the squad and see what we're working with. Alright, so taking a look at the squad, I think we have a pretty decent squad. I think we're pretty strong up top. We have a lot of options up top to work with. I think in the middle, we definitely need to bring some players in the middle of the park. I don't like our options there as much. And then in the back, we have some decent options, but we're a lot older. I want to be a young squad. I want to bring in a lot of youngsters. I want us to develop the youngsters and get them a lot of game time, and kind of prepare them for the journey as we move forward, as we move up, and hopefully gain promotion into the Bundesliga, play with a little bit of younger talent there, and kind of press some of these teams. So definitely back in the back four, I think we're going to look to get a little bit younger. You can see here, both of our wing backs are actually on the older side. So you have Roberto Hilbert, who's 33 years old, as a right back. And then you have Caligari on the left side, who's 34 years old. Also, really quickly, a disclaimer, I do live in America, and if there is one thing that is horrible over here, it is pronunciation. We like to pronounce things totally different than the rest of the world. So if I do pronounce a name wrong, please do not kill me in the comment section. Just comment, let me know that I pronounced something wrong, or work with me, give me a little bit of patience, I will correct it. I will try very hard to correct it, but pronunciation's really, really hard over here, so please bear with me. But as you can see here, Marco, he will end up playing on the left side for us, and he's a little bit older, 34 years old, not even a little bit, he's older. So we will look to bring in younger talent on the two fullback, wingback positions. We want younger talent there. You can see here in the middle, we have Mario Maloka. He's pretty decent. I think he'll play for us maybe another 1 or 2 years, but he's also 29. We have a youngster here who I think will play. He will get minutes for us this year. He'll probably end up playing a lot more because I want him to play and develop. And I don't know that we necessarily will be pushing for promotion this year. I would like to push for promotion. I think we have the squad that's capable of pushing for promotion, but we'll see. I mean, I think a reasonable expectation is top half of the table finish this first year, and then the second year really look to push for promotion. I mean, definitely with our finances the way that they are, I don't know that we necessarily will have the money to bring in a ton of players, so we will have to build up our youth, and I think this is how we'll do it. We'll play them early, so Paul will probably get a run out here from us, and then we also have Richard Magyar, pretty good. He looks pretty decent as well. He may get a few runouts. Hopefully we can go somewhere in the cups. The deeper we can get into like the cup games, the German Cup, I think the more games we can get some of these youngsters without any pressure, I guess, on us. We do have a couple loanies in the squad. So like on the right hand side, we have David Atanga, who's young, comes in from from Red Bull Salzburg. So Salzburg, they loaned us a guy on this right hand side. He looks pretty decent. He'll probably get a lot of run time for us. Ideguchi in the central here from Leeds. He's going to get a good run time. And then we have a kid here that's really young. Last year was amazing in Football Manager. And this year, it looks like he's going to be pretty good again. Fabian Riese. He's a really good young talent. He's actually on loan here from Schalke. I think that he is really strong, has great numbers as you can see here. If we could get him into the team permanently, on a permanent, I would love that. I don't know that they will sell him to us. We'll have to wait and see. I would hope we can get him permanently, but again, I don't know that they necessarily are going to sell him to us. So that's kind of our squad here. We'll put them into the tactic. I'll let you see what I'm choosing for, and then we'll take a look at the schedule. Okay, guys, so this is the lineup that I think is going to be our chosen lineup. We still have friendlies and everything to go through, so definitely we'll see how everybody plays, how everybody trains as we go through the friendlies, and then it may change a little bit. We may go through a couple changes here, but like I said, putting this together was really hard, especially up top here. We have a lot of very strong options up top here. Julian Green ends up starting on the left for us. We have Keita Rule up top, and then pressing forward, Omladik in the right starting for us. In the middle, we have Sontheimer, Ideguchi, Gugagin. On the left, we have Vitek, Maloka. We have Paul here, and then we have Hilbert. I forgot to talk about the goalkeepers when we're looking through the depth chart a little bit, and Bucher here is pretty good. I think he's going to be a decent goalkeeper for us. He's a little bit, he's 28. We have a couple of young guys behind him. I think he's going to be a really strong guy for us, and hopefully he'll take us into the Bundesliga and kind of be here for a while. On the bench, like I said, we have a young guy here behind him. And then we have Caligari, who didn't make it into this back line, but he may switch with Paul depending on how Paul plays early on, I guess. Maximilian Sauer here on the right that can play some on the right. He's actually pretty decent. Depending on how Hilbert gets along, we may throw him out there. I definitely want to see how these guys play in the system before I really, I guess, solidify. Tobias Moore, who can go on the left side, he basically plays anything on the left side there. Then we have a youngster here, Kirsch, who's really young, 22. He's kind of developing. Looks like he's going to be a really good player for us, so he'll get some time in there. David Rom, he was a really good player last year on Football Manager. Developed really well, and I think he will do so again. So he will definitely get some time for us over there on the left-hand side. And then up, like I said, up top, it gets really confusing for us because we have Keita Rule here, who's like our player, can play for us. We have Fabian Riese, who's really good, has the work rate. I like him, but since he's here on loan, I just don't know if I should be playing my own guys. Right here, you can see we have another youngster here, 23 years old. he could play for us as well. I think that he would do a great job for us. He's got the work rate, got everything to be a good pressing forward. So preseason is going to be really important for us up front. Those guys are going to be fighting for a spot, trying to figure out who's going to start going into the season. And, from there, it'll just be feast or famine. What will really help us, though, is going to be our squad layout. So you can see here, we have this layout here where it kind of sets all the stats that I want to see from them. Their goals, assists, the chances they create, the key passes, passing percentage, their shot percentage. I really want to see these. On the back end, we have some of the defensive stats, so I can see what these defensive guys are doing. This is going to be big for us. Their last 5 games, their match rating, that's going to be really big for us because during the season, we're going to use that a lot to determine, I guess, up front especially, who is in the right form to play for us, who's going to help us to get the games that we need. I think that everybody kind of fits into the system well. We don't have a lot of players that we'd have to make changes to the system for. So I don't see that being a problem. I think it's going to be form and how you perform in the matches that will determine how much you play. So I'm looking forward to that. Let's look at training real quick and then we'll wrap this up. So beside tactics, the other big thing that they really made a change to was the training. As you can see here, training is just crazy. It is a lot better. I think it goes into depth. It allows you to be as detailed as you want to be, and it allows you to be as, I guess, laid back as you want to be. You can tweak with it, you can't. What I found helpful for me in my Bournemouth save was I allowed the assistant to handle training, and then I tweaked it as I saw fit. So like I would go in, and depending on who we're playing, what we look like, I may make a couple of changes here and there to kind of get rid of some things, maybe add some things I think we should focus on. So I think that's what I'm going to do in this save as well. I'm going to allow the assistant manager to kind of take charge of that, and then I'll make tweaks here and there throughout the season to kind of help us in certain matches, certain weeks, maybe all the time. You guys won't see very many training updates, I guess. You'll see the updates that we get in the mail as far as in our inbox, but you're not going to see very many updates as far as like me tweaking it and what I've been doing. If you want to see that, definitely leave that in the comments below, or at some point just say like, hey, what's going on with training, and I can show you guys what's going on. All right, that's about it, guys. So we're gonna go through the friendlies here offline. I'll play through all the friendlies, tweak the tactics, the lineup, and then we'll probably jump back in here on Ingolstadt. So I'll play the first game of the season, and then you guys will get to see the highlights from that, the results, and then we'll jump in with Ingolstadt for our second game, and then Borussia Mönchengladbach for the first round of the German Cup. That'll probably be in the next episode, and then we'll see from there. If you guys like the 2 games an episode, or you want 1 game with, I guess, longer highlights, we'll see what you guys think. But thanks so much for tuning in. Definitely leave the video a like if you did like it. Subscribe so you can follow the series. I want you guys to take part. I want you guys to have a say in some of the transfers. Definitely leave your suggestions for tactics, what you like, what you don't like. Tell me what you think about the game. I mean, this is our first save for Football Manager 2019. I love the game. I've been playing since the beta and absolutely love it. Tell me what you think in the comments, and I can't wait to go forward. Thanks so much for tuning in. Until next time, peace.